What's up, ladies? It's Alex from Mind for Attraction 2.0. So, you apply these techniques, you make them wait, okay? You act as though you're not interested, and it seems like it's working. It seems like he's showing you attention, he's texting you more, sending you more LOLs, and wants to hang out with you. You go on a date, you guys have sex, and you don't hear from him again. What went wrong? Am I wrong? Did I lie to you guys? Fuck no. I had a question. Somebody sent me that message yesterday, where I'm not gonna say her name, but she told me to keep it private. But it was through Facebook, and she said that she met a guy the other day, and she applied everything that I said in the video of how to make a guy fall in love with you. And she said she showed interest, and then she backed off. She told him that, you know, like her type was the total opposite of who he is, and so she applied all of the techniques that I told her to do, and she said like it was actually working. And she told me, it's like, wow, Alexis, this is working. He wants to see me again, and he's interested. And I was like, yo, don't let this get to your head. You don't know who you're talking to. You may be talking to the guy, or you may be interacting with his dick. Because they're two completely different people. You know, you got him and you got his dick. You have me and you have my dick. Those are two completely different heads in every sense of the way. So why do I say this? It's because in the video that I made about how to seduce a guy and how to make him fall in love, I said very clearly that you could make a guy want you more, but it's not permanent. And I'm gonna explain to you why. I'm gonna explain to you why guys act as though they like you, but when they get what they want, they're not attracted anymore. There's a logical reason why, and it's not like guys are fucked up, but it's because this is how it is, unfortunately. So let me give you from my perspective. Some girls that I've dated were very, very good at flirting. Some of them were, not most of them. Majority aren't, but some of them were pretty goddamn good. And they'll get me attracted to them, and I'll be like, God damn, I want to have sex with her. My goodness in heaven, what the fuck? Stop teasing me like that, right? And so I want her because she's teasing me, but then once we have sex, it's kind of like, what? I thought I liked her. What? I thought I was attracted to her. You know, and the funny thing is that the guy actually even acts surprised, because you're like, yo, like, I actually thought I liked this. Kind of like you're fucking her and you like feel that desire, but then as soon as you come, you're like, oh, what the fuck? Who's doing this? It's kind of like it feels like you're somebody else. Like, oh, what the fuck? And like your dick runs away. He's like, whoop, I'm out. And you're like stuck there. You're like, come here, come back, nigga, shit. So what's going on here? This is the thing, is that you have physical attraction and you have emotional attraction. Those are two completely different things. When you use the techniques that I teach you, for example, silence. Let's say you use silence in order to get the guy, right? And you will even try to say that you're not his type in order to make him feel inadequate and make him want to prove himself to you. And it may work, and it may seem like it's working. Like I said earlier, he's texting you. But the thing is that in reality, what you're really stimulating is his emotions. I mean, is his physical desire for you. That doesn't mean he has an emotional desire for you. The emotional part is something that's more organic. It may feel as though he likes you from your perspective, and even from his perspective too. It feels as though he likes you. He may even think that. Like, oh man, I want to see her. He may even feel jealousy, you see? But the thing is that this is more superficial. This is more of an emotional, of a physical drive to get with the girl. So in reality, when you're teasing him, when you're using these techniques in order to make him want you, you're stimulating his physical and primordial part of who he is. And so once he gets off, what happens is that there's a clean slate with just emotions. Now the only thing that's gonna keep him is his emotions, and that's something that happens over time, and it's something that's organic. You cannot manipulate someone to actually love you. This is not something that you can do. This is more organic. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, a girl may tease me, a girl may make me want her more, but if I don't really like her, I don't even know until I actually fucking come. It's true. Like, I don't even know until it happens. Do I want to stay with her? Oh, I want to stay with her. Oh, come here. And you want to cuddle with her. Then I'm like, oh, wait a minute, it's actually true. You see what I'm saying? So what can you do about that? How can you fix that? From my perspective, let me give my thoughts.
2,000 years later.
For example, let me give you a scenario that happened to me a couple months ago. And I was talking to this girl, and we were Skyping, and I was in New York City, and she was in Georgia, right? And we were talking. She was like one of these Southern girls. Like, she'll bake you a pie, and like, come here, honey. Let me give you some sugar. And so we were chatting, and she was bad as fuck. Oh my Lord in heaven. So we had Skype sex, right? And as soon as I come, I looked at her and I was like, what the fuck? Like, I swear to God, it was like, oh, I gotta go. Like, oh, I gotta go now, right? And it's not like you're being an asshole. It's that like there's no other reason to stay there. It's the truth. Your emotions kind of betray you. Your body betrays you. It tells you you like it, but in reality, it's more of your testosterone. You can't, and it feels as though you like her. It feels as though, but until you actually come, you'll return to reality because you get a little crazy. I get a little crazy too when I'm too horny. You go back into reality and you're like, oh, wait a minute, I just want to have sex with her, and that happens often. But the signs that of him wanting to have sex with you could really appear as though he actually has an emotional connection with you. And the needier the guy is, which is to say, the unhappier he is, and the less woman he gets, the more he's going to confuse physical attraction and his desire to be happy with attraction to you. That's what's gonna happen. So even though if he stays with you, and he actually does whatever the hell he wants to do, his unhappiness is going to appear as though he actually likes it, but in reality, he's just using you to be happy. There's not real love. This is more of a crutch. He's using you to feel better by himself. And that doesn't last, because as soon as he finds a girl who makes him feel better, he's gonna run away and go with her. You see what I'm saying? And so what I want you to understand is that the connection with a man cannot be manipulated. This is the one part that cannot be manipulated. Really cannot. Because even though when you miss the girl and she sees you, as soon as you have her, you like, oh shit, this was anticlimactic. Like, life is very anticlimactic. We all know we worked for goals that as soon as we got the goals, we were like, this is not as fun as we used to be. Even better, like when you used to get Christmas gifts. You got the Christmas gift, and the next day, you don't want to play with them anymore. Actually, that never happened. But sometimes, you're like, that never happened with me. But for the most part, when we get something, we get it, and it's not as we expected it to be. Like growing up, you're like, oh, it's gonna be fun. But as soon as it happens, it's not as fun as it is. So what can you do to increase the likelihood that the guys will like you for who you are? It's gonna sound weird, but it all starts with you. You see, like, a guy will see a girl, and if you're the type of girl who is needy, who needs a guy in order to be happy, you're going to attract the guys who are also needy. And so those guys are less stable. Those guys confuse love with unhappiness. You have to first be fulfilled and be happy on your own. Stop looking on the outside for happiness and look for the within. What does it mean to look on the outside for happiness? Looking for those Facebook likes, looking for those Instagram likes, looking for those YouTube views in my part, looking for signs of attraction, looking for women, and I used to do that too, and I still do it to a certain degree. I'm not fucking perfect, you know, but the key is seeing yourself looking for happiness in other things. And what you're gonna notice is that as soon as you get it, you want more, but you're never really happy. Your happiness comes from being unhappy, which is to say, I got it, but I want more. And the wanting more gives you hope that there's salvation in the future. So what do you have to do? Stop thinking about the future. The future never happens. The future doesn't bring happiness because the future is ephemeral in nature. It's an illusion. You know, we have the temerity, the audacity, the unmitigated God, the fucking disgusting proclamation to believe that things on the outside are gonna make us happy, when in reality we see the evidence that says that this is not permanent. This is not really gonna make you happy. So what do? You look in the past, trying to find yourself in the past, trying to think of the good things you've done in the past, trying to find who you are, trying to feel a good sense of self through relating to the things that happened in the past? No. Because once again, that also becomes distorted, because we kind of, our brain distorts memory in order to fit a model of the world. So what do? You become present. You stop focusing on the future and you stop focusing on the past. You only use the future to plan, and as soon as you stop planning, you return to the present moment. You only look at the past to learn from your past, but as soon as you stop learning from the past, you return from your present moment. You don't look at the past to be happy. You don't look at the future for salvation. You look to the present moment to find yourself. How do you do that? Remove time. Let me ask you this. Right now, tell me what problems you have right now. Not in 2 minutes. This is in the book Eckhart Tolle, in the book The Power of Now. Not in 2 minutes, not in 10 minutes, but right now. Do you have any problems right now? Just focus on it right now. Notice if you have any problems right now. You don't. right? Isn't that crazy? But then right now, just think about what's gonna happen tomorrow. Think about your debt. Think about when is Alex gonna make his next video, and suddenly you feel anxiety. Suddenly you feel, holy shit, what the fuck? Think about what time you gotta get out of work. Suddenly there's problems. Your mind gets into the future, but how do you become happy? You focus on the now. You see, the reason why you cannot focus on the now is because your consciousness, your attention is being used up by your mind. And mind you, you're not your mind, because your mind acts on its own. It's like another entity. You're not your mind. You're the observer of your mind. So how do you do that? Simply use all of your senses to whatever's going on right now. Because again, I said again, your attention is usually where? In here. You see? It's usually in here. Your attention is not in your body. Your attention is not in the present moment. How do I notice? For example, notice the way your feet, your shoes feel on your feet, or your clothes feel on your body. Notice it right now. You weren't noticing it in the past, right? Well, because you were in your head. But because I told you to notice it, now you're more conscious. Now you're more present. The thing is that when you're focusing on what's going on right now, your attention turns away from time. You become present in the moment. You see? And so when you live in the present moment, when you learn to become present to the moment, life and a lot of your problems will fade away. And so you're gonna have this very peaceful aura, a very benevolent aura to you that people are gonna be attracted to. And so this is what I do a lot. That's why a lot of people like my videos. I may sound personal and whatnot, but it's because I meditate, because I try to be present in the moment. So how do you do this? Just use all of your senses. Feel the breath. Notice whatever. Just do this right now. Use all of your senses. Notice the lights, colors, shadows. Notice the way my voice resonates in your ear. Feel my voice in your ear right now. Notice the way your body feels. Feel your body fully. Feel the temperature in the room. Notice the sounds. Notice any sounds right now. Just listen. And just notice the breath right now. Listen to any sounds. Notice the colors in the room. Notice the contrast between light and darkness. And it feels as though you're experiencing the world at a deeper level, right? And so that's really what it is to live, to experience your senses, to feel your senses fully. But we are diluted of that privilege because we take away our attention from the body to the mind, which is fictitious, which is based on past and future, which doesn't even exist. So in order to attract the God, you have to let go of the past and let go of future expectations of what's gonna make you happy and live present in a moment. All right. Now, you could use all of these techniques, right? But it's not gonna make the guy like you. And nothing's gonna make the guy like you. It all starts with you. And once you allow yourself to love yourself, you can organically attract the guys. Yeah, some guys may not like you, but guess what? A lot of people are not gonna love you. Few people will love you. It's just a numbers game, for the most part. And it comes down for you. It comes down to you not settling, and standing for what you want. And realizing that if you don't get what you want, you still have the present moment. Because when you don't get what you want, what happens? You say to yourself, I failed. You're looking into the past. But what happens now is that you notice yourself thinking, you notice those thoughts, and you just observe it. And you become more present. And you notice yourself wanting to find happiness in the past. And you just simply notice it. Notice that desire to go into the future in the hopes to find happiness. And just bring all of your senses into the present moment. And there's a book on that. Again, go read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. It explains that. But for the most part, you have to be happy alone in order to be happy with somebody else. There's no techniques to make a guy fall in love with you. Remember that. You cannot force love. And if you do force it, it's going to be temporary. But I could definitely teach you how to love yourself. And that comes through letting go of the past, letting go of the future, and becoming fully present in the moment. And if you devote your life to that, it doesn't matter what happens. There could be a storm going on around you, but similar to the sea, there could be a storm, but if you go deep down into the ocean, you notice that the deeper you go, the calmer the water is. And so your life situation is similar to the surface level of the sea, where there's storm and it looks like it's horrible. But the present moment is kind of like the deepest part of the ocean, where the storm doesn't affect it, where everything's still and present. and at peace.